Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to find a linear equation from a given table. So this is my table. I have to create a linear equation. So we're going to do this in two steps. Okay, so before we start we should know the standard linear equation, which is y is equal mx plus b, where m equals change in y value divided by change in x value, and b is your y-intercept. So let's get started. So first we'll try to find what is my m. So my purpose is to find m and b. So to find m, we're gonna look at change in y value divided by change in x value. So let's see. So if we look at here, we'll see that my y is changing by -3, and my x, if we look at here, it's changing by -1. Right, if you look at the next value, you'll see it's changing from 1 to -2. So how do you go from 1 to -2? So that means you must subtract -3. Okay, so 1 minus 3, that'll give you -2. Look at here now, 2 and 1, so that change is, let me write it here, so it's 1. Okay, so let's look at the last one. It's changing from -2 to -8. So what number you need to add with -2 that'll give you -8? If you do a little calculation, you'll see that number is -6. Okay, and here you can see it's changing from 1 to -2. So what number you need here? So I forgot the negative here, so it's -1, 2 to 1, and then the last one is changing from 1 to -1, so this time it's -2. So that's how my numbers are changing. Okay, so if we consider the first one, we can see that the change in y value is -3. So let's write it down that it's changing by -3. And if we look at x, you'll see it's changing by -1. Now you can pick any of these numbers and you'll see your m will not change. It's the same. Okay, so -3 divided by -1, that'll give you just 3. Now you can say why this is -6 and this is -2. So we can also pick this one. So let's say what is m? So change in y value, that is -6, and change in x value, you'll see that is -2. If you do the calculation, you'll see it is still 3. So my m is 3. Okay, so I have figured out my m is 3. So second step, now I have to find what is my b. So let's write this equation. So y is equal to m, which is 3, x plus b. Okay, now what is my x? Remember, your x and y values are given, right? So we can pick any pair. So that when x is 3, your y must be 4. So let's work with this one. Okay, so my m is 3, x is 3, so 3 times 3 plus b, and let's write the y. Okay, so 3 times 3, that'll give you a 9 plus b, and that's y. Now remember, your y is 4. Here I already have 9 plus b is equal y. So that means I need to find a value of b, so that after the calculation you'll get y is equal 4. So what number you need with 9 so that you get 4? So you can guess that that number is 5. So if you subtract 5 from 9, your y will be 4. So that's my 4. So that means your b is 4. And we figured out that m is 3. So once we have these two numbers, now we can write the equation. Your m is 3, so 3x, and we figure that the b is -5. Now to check if we are correct or not, we can pick any pair. So let's try with the last pair. So x is -1, so 3 times -1 minus 5, so -3 and 5, that is giving me -8. So you can see your y is -8. Okay, so that's your linear equation. Y is equal 3x minus 5. Okay, let's try another example. So this time this is my table. So first we will work out what is my m. So let's look at the change. So first let's look at x. So x is changing from 1 to -1. So it is -2. So if you 1 minus -2, that will give you -1. Here it's changing from -1 to 3 again. You need -2. The last one, it's changing from -3 to 3. If you know your number line, you'll see that it's 6. You have to add 6 with 3 to get 3. So here let's look at y now. So y is changing from -9 to 3. So what number you need to add with -9 to get 3? So -9 plus a number should give you 3. So what is that number? That number is 12. Okay, so if we add -9 plus 12, that will give you 3. So 3, and it's changing from 3 to 15, so that's time you're adding 12 again. The last change, you'll see it's 15, and this is 21. So what number you have to add or subtract to get 15 from 21? So let's write 15. Remember, you have to get -21. If you do a little calculation, you can find out the number. That number is 36. So it is 36. Now we're going to use our m. So m, we already know that m is change in y value divided by change in x value. So remember I said you can pick any pair. So if we pick the first one, y is changing by 12. This is positive, remember. And your x is changing by -2. If you do the calculation, see your m is -6. Now you can also try with any other pair. You'll see you'll have the same answer. For example, you can try the last pair. The last pair, you can see the y is changing by -36 and your x is changing by +6. Again, you'll get -6. Okay, so you can pick any pair. Now once we have our m, we have to find our b. So to find the b, let's write the equation. Y is equal mx plus b. So m is -6 x plus b. So now we're gonna pick a value of x. So remember, you can pick any pair. So x is 1. So let's try with that. So -6 times 1 plus b should be your y. So -6 times 1 is -6. Now remember, when this number is -6, right, but your y is actually -9. So what number you need for b so that your y becomes -9? So you already have -6, you have to make it -9. If you think a little bit, and if you know your number line, you know that number is -3. So -6 and -3, that is -9. Okay, so your y becomes -9 when your x is 1, and we know that that time your b is -3. So my b must be -3. So we figured out m and we figured out b. So now we can write the equation y. M is -6 times x and b is -3. So that's my linear equation. Now you can try with any pair of x and y. So if you try this one, third one, so you can see -6 times -3, that will give you 18, and if you subtract 3, that'll give you 15. Okay, so that's how you find a linear equation from tables, right?